Hi, it's Jen with JKC Mobile Notary, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're at it again. We have another NBB Innovator interview. Again, if you don't know what an NBB Innovator is, NBB, or Notary Business Builders, has a feature where they feature their NBB members who have created products that are both in and out of the notary industry. And today we're talking to Nancy McKain, who has created magnetic mantras. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go meet her. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen Cooper of JKC Mobile Notary, and I'm happy to have you here today. Today is another NBB Innovator interview, and I'm excited to introduce you to my NBB colleague, Nancy McKain, who created Magnetic Mantras. Nancy, thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I've really been looking forward to this. Well, before we dive into your innovation, one of my favorite questions to start off with is, what was your journey to becoming a notary like?
Well, I did it very unintentionally. I was managing a real estate firm up in San Francisco, and we needed a notary. And so and it wasn't a mobile situation at all, except on occasion. But that was in 2000. And I got I passed the test. I think I got like a 95 or something. I was really smart. I retained more than water back then. So I got it, and during the course of the 10 years that I had my commission, I think I did over 586 notarizations.
Wow.
My most famous was Neil Young. I went to his house.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, I worked at a boutique real estate firm, and we had just a Gavin Newsom and Nancy Pelosi and just all sorts of people who were relatives of theirs, but it was a very high-end real estate firm. Anyway, I did that, and then I left in 2010 or 2009, and then my commission expired in 2010, and I let it lapse because I thought, oh, I'll never use this again.
Yeah.
I didn't see the importance of it. And then again in 2020, my sister suggested that we both get our notarization or our commissions again, and so we did, and here I am.
Wow. So your sister's a notary.
Making mistakes along the way.
We always do. That's just how we roll. That's really cool. It's a cool story. You were doing it once and then came back to it again. And so are you happy that you made that decision?
Yes, it has been, even after I got it in 2020, I didn't even focus on it. Actually, then I worked for a business broker because I'm a great behind the scenes person. I'm not so comfortable networking and doing that sort of stuff, which is why, even though I've been licensed as a realtor for about 38 years, I just chose to never do that. And I tried it once, but I absolutely hated it. So I worked for a business broker for a couple of years and kind of put the notary thing to the side a little bit. And last year, when the interest rates went through the roof, business slowed down, and she didn't need an assistant anymore. So I thought, I'm going to start focusing on this again. I really enjoy doing it. I know I have the chops to do it. And so I just sort of took it up again, and I do like it. I like it.
Fine.
I'm trying to build the consistency behind it.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with your help and the NBB help as well. So
Awesome. Well, we'll talk about NBB in a minute, but I'd like to know, what is a magnetic mantra?
Well, each of them, and excuse me for ducking, but I'm going to show you what it is. They come in a packet. Maybe you can't see it so well. A little bit.
Back it up. There you
Yeah, there are 7 that come in a packet, and they each have a category. I have 9 categories: self-empowerment, career, health, and so on. And each of them have and I made 7, one a day.
What are they?
So each of them are really to encourage you to change your thoughts and in turn change your life. I mean, my slogan for this is positive affirmations and life-changing visualizations.
Mhm.
So changing your thoughts can change your life. And
Yeah,
if you let them, just thinking about it isn't enough. You've got to sort of speak it into being
yeah,
and be very intentional.
absolutely. What was behind the inspiration to create these?
Well, I mean, in my own life, and it sort of runs in my family, we're idea people. I mean, we see something, we're like, oh, I could create something for that. And it's just rampant through my family. A lot of us don't do anything about it. It's just a thought and we let it pass. But when I worked for that boutique real estate firm, it was right in the middle of the recession and the 2007
Right.
through 2010 recession. I mean, the bottom fell out.
Mhm, it sure
And
did.
and so I happened to be the only woman in management at the time in the firm. And so they were sort of going after the highest paid people. They wanted to replace everyone with younger people. And I knew they were kind of circling. I knew the
Circling around
sharks were
station. Yeah.
circling. And it was so devastating to me. I was just it was like a worse than a divorce, I think, because I really trusted the owner of the company. I was his assistant at the end. I took care of him. I saw him through 3 divorces, babysat his children. I mean, it was a real personal situation for me.
Yeah.
And then when they finally were able to capture me, in an office, he chose to, I saw him and he said, oh, I have to go. And he ran out of the office and left. And then right after that, they fired me.
Oh, gosh.
So I thought, oh, you coward,
Yeah,
damn.
you ran away from it.
And yeah, he totally didn't even take responsibility. And I confronted him after that. He wouldn't see me in person. I said, what a coward. All you had to do was come to me and say, look, we're changing things. And that was fine. After 15 years, maybe it was meant to be anyway. I believe that. I honestly believe that. So I was feeling useless. I mean, it's really a big hit to your ego
Oh,
and
yeah. Your
confidence.
emotions and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was horrible. So anyway, I'm going through that, and one day I was driving uh, downtown. It was like a couple of weeks after, and I just thought I gotta get out of this mental state. And I said, and I had been listening to The Secret for a long time because it was very popular then.
Right.
And I just thought, okay, I'm going to try this. And I'm driving downtown to a meeting. And I lived in Pleasanton at the time, and it very crowded, lunchtime, super cute little
Mhm.
area, so hard to find parking. And I'm thinking to myself on the way down, good things happen to me every day. And I was almost like, all right, I'm really trying this.
Yeah.
Good things happen to me every day. And so I got downtown, and just as I'm driving up to the restaurant, a car pulls out of a space right in front of the restaurant. And I went, oh my gosh, wow, that's very cool. Now, and also, you walk into a place like an ice cream store and you're first in line, and then right behind you, 20 people line up behind you. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I'm first in line. Or
Yeah.
you hit all the green lights coming downtown. And those things may have happened before, and I just never noticed them because I was so mired in my
Right.
own self-pity and but once I started noticing them, I thought, oh, this is good. I said, if I feel like this, I wonder if other people must
Of
feel like
course.
that.
Of course.
And then, and my that's my favorite one. Good things happen to me every day. That's sort of what started the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then the one that's really impactful, and I think is most important of all the ones that I've created, is when I believe it, I will see it. I mean, and that's true. If you don't believe
It's so
what you're
true.
saying,
It's so
it's
true.
never going to happen.
It's so true. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to send you
Creation,
some.
I love that. Create,
Yeah.
and I'm a big believer. I do affirmations and visualizations every day. It's part of my miracle
I do
morning
it.
stuff. And yeah. But what I love so much, Nancy, is that people who innovate, I don't think those who don't innovate understand this. It comes from somewhere honest almost all of the time. And this
Oh,
specific product that you're putting out comes from the most honest place that you could possibly come from. And I think it's incredibly inspirational and a great use of the angst and anxiety you must have been going through during that.
desperation.
Yeah. And
Desperation is
desperation.
what drove this. I was so desperate to get out of this mindset that I was trapped in. And so I try to tell myself, it's not you. I mean, you can't let how what they do affect you. So it really is that there's an adage that speaks to, it's not what you do, it's not what they say, it's how you respond to it that
Right.
matters. And so I responded to it the way I think a lot of people might, and that is take it personally. But
Right.
really, in reality, and it took me a minute to think about it, and get used to it, is that I wished this on myself. This was my doing, not their doing. I
Interesting.
brought this on me. I would go to work and say, geez, I feel so stifled here. Not to people, but to myself. I
Yourself.
convinced
Yeah.
myself. I need creativity. But I'm not an entrepreneur because I'm kind of scared. So I
Right.
still relied on the paycheck.
Right. Of
And I'm
course.
still that way. I'm still that way. And
Yeah.
desperation for me is a great weight loss program. You know, it keeps me it keeps me running for sure. But yeah, it was me who did this, not them. And I absolve them of that. I still think he's a coward though. He's a
Yeah.
terrible
Well, he is.
coward.
And it's a scary thing to do because you guys had a very long relationship. It's just
Yeah,
like texting
personal
somebody to
too.
break up with them. It's the same thing,
Yeah.
So I get it. And that event, I think would be hard for anybody to get through quickly or without um an issue, you know what I mean, without something being really, really wrong with him. It's a hard thing to handle. And so congratulations
Yeah.
to you for finding your way out of
Thank
it.
you.
I'm
Thanks.
gonna put information in the description down below where people can buy these. But
Okay.
I I have this opportunity to talk with you today because you're an NBB member and innovator. And I'd love to hear from you what being an NBB member means to you. Now, I've been saying NBB this whole video. People are probably tired of hearing me say it, but NBB is Notary Business Builders for those of you that don't know. So,
Hmm.
what does being a Notary Business Builder member mean to you?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not a joiner. I do not join things. I'm very independent. In fact, I have two friends that I would say are my real lifelong friends. One I've had for 60 years, another one not as long, but very seldom do I join things because
Mhm.
the networking part of it and the relying on other people, and I don't like taking things from people. It's sort of a mental thing from a child, but being a notary, as you know, can be a very lonely business.
It really can.
And speaking with people can be elusive.
Mhm.
You're if you're not doing notaries every day, you're sitting by yourself trying to figure out how to do notaries every day.
That's right.
So
That's right.
so I thought when I decided to get back into this field,
Yeah.
um, how am I going to do this? Okay, I know I can't do it by myself anymore. So I started looking, I think on LinkedIn, and I ran across this woman's page. Her name is Renee Lamb,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a video on her page of Jennifer Neitzel. And so I clicked on that link, and she did a testimonial for Jennifer. Now, I had no idea who Jennifer was
Right.
or
Right.
anything about Notary Coach. And I watched it. I emailed her, not Jennifer, but Renee Lamb. She never did get back to me. But I thought, okay, well, that's good. I'm going to reach out to Jennifer Neitzel. For me, that was like ooh, oh God, I'm so scared. I don't know why. Because
Because
it was almost,
everybody who, when they don't know them, Bill, Laura, Jen, they are like movie stars, they seem so far away. And you wouldn't
I
you'd
think
be surprised.
my angst was more uh not so much about talking to her, but more about the commitment that I was about to get into.
Right,
For
right.
me, commitment is a big thing because I'm a real stickler on follow through. If
Yeah.
I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And there's just no getting out of it for me. So it was me. Are you ready to commit? Are you ready to roll? Let's go. Let's go. So I made an appointment with Jennifer Neitzel and while we were talking, and I really enjoyed talking to her.
Mhm.
And while we were talking, she mentioned Notary Business Builder. And uh, I joined. I'm like, geez, I can't believe I'm joining. Well, within 2 to 3 weeks, I had every certification under my belt done.
Believe that.
Done. Done. I love certifying. I love doing it. It's putting
Oh,
it into
Nancy.
practice. That's the
It goes
challenge. So
against everything we try people tell people to do when they come into NBB, but you just went for it. That's so funny.
yeah, I did. I did. So now it's just an addiction that I have to deal with. But I absolutely love it. I love it, and I'm so grateful that I met people like you. You've helped me
Thank you.
already in the past, and I took your course, and I found it very invaluable. That was just the very beginning of it, and
Wow.
you helped me just the ideas of because oftentimes as a new notary, you don't even know where to start.
No.
What bank account do I have to have a bank account? Do I have to,
Thank
and that kind of information to me is so valuable. And I'm so grateful to you for that because
you.
you took care of that for me
You're talking
from
about the
outside of
notary
notary.
business. You're talking about the notary business essentials course that talk about starting
Yeah,
a business.
yes,
Yeah.
on your site. Yeah,
Yeah.
you do some amazing courses too.
Thank you.
For people like me, you kind of make it not that you dumb it down for me, but you make it easy to consume.
Right.
And so I really appreciate that. And I think
You.
notaries like me who are just starting out will appreciate that as well. And very affordable in bite-sized pieces.
I don't
So
think we should
great
be
for
robbing
everyone.
people. I'm a notary too. I want to be educated too. And some of the prices for the things that are out there make me nuts. And so when I started putting out products like courses, um, I didn't want some of those. Some of my newer ones are probably worth $150. I will never charge that because
I've seen that. Yeah.
I couldn't afford $150 course. So thank you for saying that because it's an absolute intentional thing that I do when I
It's the
price things
truth.
out. Yeah.
It is the apps for me too. I mean, I'm not working. The notary thing is my job. Thank
Mhm.
God I saved a boatload of money and I have, I mean, so really I can afford to do this at the moment, but there are people who can't.
That's right.
And so having you the way I think your consideration for us is because you were there and you are there and it's great. You've built your business up and it's inspiring to notaries like me and I'm sure many others.
Thank you,
So
Nancy.
I
Okay.
appreciate it.
I want to ask you one more question and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
If you could give a notary a new notary, any notary, one piece of advice, what would it be?
Join a group. Join a group. Don't try to do everything on your own. because here I am. I'm the example, or I'm an example. I'm not the example.
You're the
But
non-joiner who's absolutely participating in this
oh my
group.
God,
Yeah.
I'm like a devotee. I can't stand it. And when I need inspiration, because now Jennifer Neitzel has said, stop going to every Zoom meeting. Stop, focus, start focusing. So I am doing that. But when I need a boost, I'll log on to a Zoom meeting because they're constant, they're always happening. And I think it's, again, hang out with people who are smarter than you in the business that you want to be in.
Yeah.
Even if it's a mentor or if it's just someone that you can network with, or and get ready for networking. If you're not comfortable with it, get over it.
Yeah.
I chose not to do real estate from a sales perspective because I hate that networking thing, and I'm doing exactly what I hate. But it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't
And
feel the same.
I think the reason why is because of where you decided to join. I think, and listen, I have been part of NBB since pretty much the inception of NBB, and never in my life have I seen a group of people so committed, not just the leadership, us, so committed to supporting and helping each other. Please don't get me wrong. You have your wackos. You have the people that you can't stand their voices. You have the people that won't shut up because they're people. We're all in the same, you know what I mean? But the support and encouragement that you get even from those people is unparalleled in anything else I've ever seen. And so you picked a good group if you're going to break your networking,
chops,
reprimand or whatever. Yeah, you picked a great place to start. So
yeah, and in retrospect, I wish I would have found NBB sooner because I would have saved a lot of tread on my notary tires. I'll tell you, it is really, I'm sort of playing catch up, and I got slicks on now. So yeah, it's join something. NBB for me would be the preference for them because it's just so huge.
Yeah,
there's just so much that it offers you. But join something. Don't try to do it on your own.
that's right. It's a great advice, Nancy. Thank
Because
you.
there's people like you out there, Jen.
Thank you. And there's people like you out there too, Nancy, because you're doing a fantastic job. So thank you so much for agreeing to sit down for this. I appreciate you. And I hope people will run and buy your mantras and put them up all over their house because, I mean, what a story. What a story. Why you created this. It was fun. It's awesome. Thank you so, so much. I look forward to
pleasure.
seeing you on our next NBB call.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye. I hope that you enjoyed that interview. I hope you enjoyed getting to know Nancy. She is pretty amazing, and I very much enjoyed sitting down and chatting with her about her journey into creating the magnetic mantras. If you guys are interested in those, please check the description down below. Support this part of her business as she continues to grow her notary business and her outreach to people like us with her amazing mantras. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.